how's it going? So, headed to Yankeetown again this morning. I don't know why. I'm so tired. But, I'm going to try and catch some fish to bring home. I'm guessing it's not going to go well. I'm just not doing good with keepers here lately. I want to bring a keeper home. But, it's not happened here lately. So, sometimes you just gotta live with it. Marie and I, we had planned to get up early and go do the sunrise on the water thing. And so what happened, I wasn't feeling all that hot, so I was wore out. So Marie let me sleep in, and thank you, honey. Thank you. So we got there 10 o'clock-ish, maybe, we were heading out. You know, like, I exclusively use artificial. I haven't used bait in for so long, until yesterday. I couldn't even get a bite on artificial. I couldn't get anything on artificial. And it's kind of been going that way, slowly but surely. It's been going to the point where not getting anything. And all I want to do is bring home some supper.
In a quarter
just
mile,
to keep
turn
her.
left onto US 41 South.
I shall. So I decided.
Take the next left onto US 41 South.
Can you give me a minute? Or we're getting there. You're so impatient. So I was struggling yesterday with artificial. And, you know, I had the cast net. I haven't thrown the cast net yet. It's been like 30 years since I've thrown a cast net. So I pulled up some mullet in a little cut and got them back in the dead end. And I'm gonna turn up here, and
take the next right.
I just told you I was gonna turn up here.
State Highway 4.
You know, Google Maps should be interactive. If you say like, "Hey, I'm turning up here, I'm good," it should like chill and shush for a second. I schooled some finger mullet up in a cut and blocked them in because I knew I wasn't gonna be like no epic cast net throwing wizard of awesomeness, but ended up getting way too many finger mullet and threw them in the bucket. I just kept them. I was only gonna like use one or two because the day was almost done. We were going home, but I wanted to catch a fish. I didn't care if it was a catfish. I wanted to show Marie all these mullet I caught. At least, you know, hey, I'm a fisherman, look at me, I can catch a bunch of finger mullet. And I pull out of the cut and she's gone. She's back at the beach. And I was like, oh my God. And so I call her on the phone, because now I can't even show her my epic catch of finger mullet that I have in my live bucket. And she's back at the beach and she's like, oh, I got sunburn, I don't want to go back over there. Got sunburned and I feel like a French fry. So I said, I'm going to fish around these islands over here for a minute and I'll be in. I cut a finger mullet in half and stick the head on a super small circle hook and free line it with a 20-pound leader, 10-pound test. And blam! You know, I see the line going out. I'm working on getting my other rod out because I need 2 fishing rods in the water because I catch so many fish. I don't catch that many fish. But while I was working on getting the other rod out in the water, I see my line moving. So I pick it up and I remember what everybody says. Because you got to remember, I haven't used bait in forever. So I've never even used a circle hook until yesterday. And so everybody said, you don't set the hook with the circle hook. Don't set the hook, you'll jerk it out of their mouth. Don't set the hook. Whatever you do, don't set the hook on a circle hook. And so I almost set the hook, but I remembered, don't set the hook. And so I just reeled in, pulled gently, and boom, it got tight. I knew the fish was hooked. So I started reeling in my other rod to get it out of the way. And then the fish starts moving and it just starts peeling drag. Now mind you, I got 10-pound test. My flip, skip, jack, grease, Walmart fishing rod that is absolutely epic is just doubled over and the drag's peeling out. And now I'm in panic mode because I got this other rod in and my line is headed straight towards a crab trap. So I managed to get my line in, my other line in, and I unhook. I'm in panic mode. I unhook from my pin, my anchor pole, anchor pole, my power anchor pole, my manned powered anchor pole, and the fish starts pulling me around the crab trap. And so it gets away from the buoy, it's free from the crab trap, and now I'm on. I had seen this fish. I know this fish is way too big for the tackle I'm using, but guess what? I don't care. So anyhow, so I call Marie and I'm like, honey, you gotta come out here. I just want her to see it. I didn't think I was getting this thing in. And I didn't even know what it was yet. I assumed it wasn't a shark or a big snook.
Florida 121 South.
Or a big snook, because it hadn't broke my line. I only had 20-pound monofilament leader. You know, if it had any kind of teeth, I'd have been done. I call Marie and I'm like, honey, you gotta come. I don't know, it's big. I just want her to see it, because you know, she's never seen like big fish, because she's never fishing with me when I catch big fish, because I catch big fish all the time. It's not like I don't catch big fish. So she's like, oh, I'm all the way at the beach, which it was like a mile and a quarter. I don't want to paddle back. And I was like, okay, you got to come see it. Anyhow, she said no. So I said, all right. So I get off the phone and I'm fighting this fish. So like 20 minutes later, I realized this fish is definitely, I thought was a red, but it ended up being not a red. But I saw it. And I was like, honey, you've got to come now. So Marie paddles. I'm out there fighting this thing. I'm getting swamped by like these boats that are coming by. They can see me fighting this fish. It's pulling my kayak around everywhere. It is not giving an inch. And I'm doing everything I can to not lose this fish. And boats are just swamping me on my kayak, because I'm a little kayaker. And I don't have a big boat. If I had a big boat, I'd catch big fish. So Marie comes out and she's like, how big do you think it is? Yeah, well, you can just watch the clip.
So how big is he, you think?
So she's like, no way, I don't believe you, because you never catch big fish. So I fight this fish, and after an hour, over an hour, I finally get him into the boat. The first time, Nick, thank you for the net. My son Nick got me a net for my birthday. And if it wasn't for that net, there's no way I would have got that fish in. So I get the fish in the boat the first time, and it's massive. Massive. How much does it weigh? Folks, I don't know what to tell you on the weight thing. This fish almost rolled my kayak. So I get the fish in the boat, and now it's stuck in the net. I can't get it out of the net. And so I fight and fight and fight, and its fins are stabbing me in the belly. I have holes in my belly. My hand's in its mouth. It's destroying my thumb with its little itty bitty teeth. And it is strong as the fish is way stronger than I am. And I'm in a kayak.
My gosh, that is insane, Warren. Don't let him go off your boat.
I don't want to. Let me get the net out. I'm gonna cry. Come on, buddy. Oh! Oh! What is your tongue on? For the hook. Got a little bitty hook. Oh! Oh!
Hold him for dear life.
Oh! He's biting me. His fins are sticking in me.
On a kayak.
Ow. And so I finally get it out of the net, and I'm gonna take a picture with it to do that epic. Oh! Look at me and my fish pose that everybody does very well, by the way. It is amazing how good you guys are at posing with your fish. Somebody needs to teach me how to pose. I think there's actually YouTube videos on how to like take good pictures of your fish on your kayak. You could probably even pick out which kayak, which camera, and somebody's made a YouTube video on how to do that. And I'm gonna watch one. So anyhow, I go to pose, but no, this fish really ain't done yet. Jumps back in the water, still hooked. I have to bring it in again. I net it again after about 10 minutes. Get it back in the boat, and this time, I'm not getting it out of the net. It is so hung in the net that I have to cut the net off with my scissors. So I cut the net off with my scissors, I get the hook out, and get a not so epic fish pose, but good enough. And then it was time to say goodbye to my little friend. Not a redfish, but a black drum. My first ever black drum. And so that's the story of my first ever black drum.
Picture.
Back when I was a wee little fisherman. But now I'm an epic, epic, epic fisherman. Because I caught like this massive black drum on this 10-pound test, 20-pound monofilament leader. And so, like, I think I'm gonna get a bigger truck and a bigger boat